in setting a vision for the year 2009, I would like to suggest this evening that don't set a vision or targets that are too far or unreachable. You know, in the working world, they say set smart targets, isn't that so, Ram? Set smart targets. But what we should do is to ensure that whatever goals and aspirations we set for ourselves in 2009, we do them or we set them in small and measurable steps. Once there was a young boy who went to Mathura beach, and the sun was already high in the sky, and it was time when the eggs were hatching. And for those of you who would have been there, where thousands and thousands of little turtles, leatherback turtles, almost from nowhere, pop their heads out of the sand. It is one of the most heavenly experiences you can have in this life. When you walk on the beach and you witness these little heads, these little creatures emerging from darkness, seeing light for the very first time, and in their innocence, they wander around searching for water. And this little boy, he saw what was happening, that the hundreds and thousands of turtles that were coming out of the sand, some were going towards the water, some were walking along the beach, and some in their ignorance were going inland. And what the little boy did was he started in the midst of the scorching sun, seeing that some of them were dying, seeing that some of them were being eaten by the birds and the other creatures around. He started picking up one by one and putting them back into the water, or guiding them in the direction of the ocean. And an elderly gentleman came by and he saw him. He said, "Son, why are you wasting your time? You can never save all of them. The thousands of turtles that are coming up, you can never save all of them." And the boy ignored the comment of the elderly man, and he continued one by one, turning them and putting them in the direction of the water. And the man continued, "Son, why? Stop wasting your time. You could never save all of them." And the little boy picked up one of the turtles again, looked the man in his eye, and he put it in the water, and he said, "I may not have made a difference to the thousands of turtles that may come out of this sand, but I made a difference in the life of this one. I made a difference in the life of this one." You see, our life is just like that. We may have big dreams and big goals. Donald Trump, the American billionaire, he says, if you're going to think, why not think big? We should have big dreams. We should have big goals. We should set high objectives for ourselves. But do it in small steps. Because if we never achieve the biggest and the grandeur dreams that we have for ourselves, at least we know that in the small steps in that direction, we would have made a difference in our own life. And that's what's most important. It is not reaching the destination, but rather it is in enjoying the journey. Set yourself celebrations in the small steps towards the big dreams. In 2009, friends, please contemplate this as we set our goals. Please join with me as we sing the final Chopai. As we talk about resolution, what is a resolution? A resolution is a commitment to whom? Please join. As we chant in this Chopai, Tulsidas tells us how, who is responsible for the resolutions that we make. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Raghupur सत्य भूले सब सुप्रीत सुहाई सत्य भूला सब सुप्रीत सुहाई वेद पुराण विदित मनु गाय विदित मनु गाय विदित मनु गाय वेद पुराण विदित मनु गाय बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई. It is the tradition of the Raghukul. Dashrath is saying, it is the tradition of the Raghukul, of his lineage. And what is that tradition? He says, when you give someone your word, that word should be as good as a promise. You don't have to say you promise, but your word should be as good as a promise. How so? He says, for if you are to go back on your words, the only time that you should go back on your word is when you no longer have life in this body. He's saying in the affirmative that once there is life and there is breath in this body, you should always uphold that vachan, that promise, that word, that commitment, that resolution that you would have given to someone else. But tonight, the world over has punctuated December 31st as a night of affirming resolutions. And tonight, this resolution is not about a commitment to other people, but rather it is a commitment to that person who matters most in your life. And who is that? Who is the person that matters most in your life? I can tell you in my life, after my God, I am first. And it's not a selfish statement. If I say I am first because I want and I should have and gimme in my mind, then that's the wrong I first. I first means that I am at the center of my universe. Because if I am not here, I, the individual I, cannot experience even God. And that investment in I or me, in how many ever dimensions we would like to define me by, or that I by, whether it's body, mind, intellect, spirit, whatever it is you want to define, I have a responsibility for myself first.